Hi, welcome back to my channel. My channel is called Never an Empty Nest because kids keep moving out and they keep moving back in. So my house will never be an empty nest. One thing about having a non-empty nest is that you have to cook a lot of food. One of the favorite things that my people here in my house like to eat is the thing that we like to call tuna burgers. Most people call these tuna melts, but I grew up calling them tuna burgers. I absolutely love them. Everybody in the house loves them, so it's a great quick go-to meal for us. So follow along. If you like my channel, please consider subscribing. We're pretty new here, and we'd appreciate all the support we can get. So to make the tuna burgers, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need 2 cans of tuna. You're going to need some cheddar cheese, Miracle Whip. I prefer mayo myself, but everybody in the house likes Miracle Whip better, so I just go with what they like. Worcester sauce. I'm not sure if that's how the proper way to pronounce it, but that's how I pronounced it my whole life, so it's Worcester sauce. Red pepper, an onion, and also yellow mustard. I haven't taken out the yellow mustard yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is drain out my tuna. So I'll open up both cans. I'm going to drain that into a bowl. I got 2 doggies here and they absolutely love the tuna juice over their food, so that's what I'm going to do. This is not oil, by the way, it's just water. So it's very good for them. So you drain it nice and dry, you squeeze it fairly dry, you don't want it watery. We recycle here, so we have to wash our recycling. So I'll just put that aside before I put it in my recycle bin. So I'm just going to empty those tuna cans into the bowl. This is just your regular old great value 97-cent tuna. Don't need any special tuna or anything for this. This one is skipjack, chunk light tuna. My husband is kind of a food hoarder, so when he sees something on sale, he usually picks up quite a bit of it. And these were on, I think, 97 cents, so needless to say, we had to get a big ton of those. Okay, so we got our tuna in our bowl. Next thing I'm going to do is chop up this onion. This is a knife I bought in a Oriental Asian store in Calgary, Alberta. I paid $9, I think, for this, and it's my absolute favorite knife. The metal in it is very thin, but you can sharpen it to like razor's edge. So I'm just going to chuck this scraps here in my sink. I'll get that after. Try not to peel off too many layers of onion, but sometimes it stays papery after you get the first layer peeled off, so I always get rid of that. Can't stand papery onion in any recipe. Okay, that was good. This is just small onion. You don't need much onion for this recipe. So I'm going to cut it fairly fine. I think half an onion might be sufficient. So I'm going to cut that really, really thin this way. Not going all the way to the edge. Okay, just give it a turn. And chop it as finely as you can. If there's a few little chunks in there, it doesn't matter. I'm left-handed, so That's the view you're going to get. Okay, so that goes in the bowl with the tuna. Okay, I'm just going to use half of that, I think. I'll put the other half up for something else. Now this pepper, I'm going to give that a quick wash. I think I might just use half the pepper as well. I'm going to cut that right in half, just like that. Put that aside for something else later. Pick the seeds out. Get as much of that white stuff as you can. If you got some left in there, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really affect the taste of it, I don't think. So we're going to cut this fairly small too. So I'm going to cut it in sections. When you're cutting pepper, it's better to have the shiny side down because that way your knife doesn't slip out of it and accidentally cut yourself. I learned that one the hard way. So just cut it in little small pieces because you don't really want big chunks of green pepper, red pepper in your tuna burgers. Give it another little bit of chop if you like. It's all personal preference. Doesn't matter, whatever you prefer. I think we're good. Alrighty. I'm going to rinse this off now. So next thing we want to do is add our sauce. Our sauce is made with a combination of Miracle Whip or mayo, Worcester sauce, and yellow mustard. I'm just going to get the big chunks of tuna out of there. Mix the onion and peppers together. Going to have a hunt here for my yellow mustard. Here we go, brand new one. Brand new one. These things, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're a pain in the ass to get off. But I got. Okay, so for measurements, I'm not doing anything really technical here. Just tablespoon, or as we like to call it here, a soup spoon. So I'm going to give probably, let's do the Miracle Whip first. So what I like to do with the Miracle Whip is probably about 2 great big heaping tablespoons like this. I haven't really figured out how to set this camera up yet so you can see everything that I'm doing. So that's 2 tablespoons. I'm going to give this a little mix here and see if the tuna is going to be sticky enough to stick together on your tuna burgers. 2 great big heaping tablespoons. Probably another little bit. Probably another one, something like that. Not quite as much, probably about half that again. Okay. Okay, we're done with that. Now I'm going to give just two slight little squirts of mustard in there. Shake up your Worcester. Give it a little shake. You don't want a big pile of that in there. Some people love the flavor, some people don't. And unfortunately, in my house, we got both people here. So we're just going to give it a shake here. Stir it around so you get all that mustard blended in. Also, you got to add a bit of salt and pepper, of course. Good old Tupperware salt and pepper shakers. So do that to taste. If you don't know how much, just add a little bit and taste your stuff. And if you're not sure, just keep adding more. When it tastes like it's too much, then you got enough. Okay, I think we're good there. So give it a mix. I still see yellow from the mustard, so you got to keep going till you don't see that anymore. Okay, I think our combination is good here. I'm just going to have a quick taste of this. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside. I'll grab my trusty cheese grater, my broken cheese grater. It's going to be time for a new one. Now, that much tuna will make about 8 tuna burgers. So, I'm thinking about this much. To about right. Here. This is a 400 gram block, so I'd say 150 grams. So not half, not quarter, but about in the middle of a half and a quarter. Okay. So we're going to make something out of this later. I'll just set this aside. Okay, so I'm going to just grate this on the coarse side here. I always get that little piece that you can't grate, so I just kind of snack on that one. So we're going to just lay this cheese aside now until we get our buns ready. And we'll be back to put them together. So I got some fresh homemade hamburger rolls that I made myself. For these tuna burgers, you can use store-bought rolls or you can use homemade. It's up to yourself. So I'm just going to split these. I think I only got enough filling to do probably 8. They're lovely. They are very hot still. Not long out of the oven. So I'm just going to split 2 more and I'll put the toppings on them and get our tuna burgers in the oven. Beautiful hamburger rolls. The link will be in the description below on how to make these. I use KitchenAid Mixer, but it's easy enough to do them by hand as well. There. I kind of wish I was having these on a hamburger. That's great. Okay. So I'll get my other pan here and my parchment paper. I'm probably going to reuse this parchment. I'll just reuse this because there's nothing wrong with it. Well, waste not, want not, right? So we'll just take these, put them here. I think maybe I might have enough for one more. I'll do it with my knife. One more. There. I'll save the other ones. Maybe have a hamburger tomorrow. I don't know, something like that. There. So now I'm going to take my filling for my tuna burgers and get a big spoon. Move this out of the way before it ends up in the sink. I'm just going to put a generous spoonful on each one. Might have to even it out a bit later. The other one wants in now. If one dog goes out, the other one wants to come in. Steady go here, all day long. Put the dog in, put the dog out. Okay, so I am going to have to steal some other ones. You don't need a big lot of this on each one. Just make sure it's covered. This one got a little too much, so I'll put some on here. Just spread it around a little bit. Probably I should have went with 8 instead of 10. My hands are very clean, by the way. They're washed about 40, 50 times a day. Okay. Let's see. Alrighty. So while I'm finishing this off, I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees. Okay. Still hot from the rolls, so shouldn't take long. Okay, this looks pretty good. Okay, my daughter-in-law is going to be tickled pink when she comes home because she really likes these. There. Okay, our next step now is to add our shredded cheese. Uh-oh. Somebody's not happy. Ain't no blizzard. So just a little bit of cheese on each one. These are so good. And I'm going to have to rob some cheese off of some that have too much. Every time. Every single time I have to do this. But it's not a big deal. Some of it fell down between the cracks, so you can pick up some of that. Even it out best you can. In the long run, it doesn't really matter, but nobody wants to get gypped on their cheese. There. Okay, so that oven is ready now. I'm just going to put these in the oven, and I'll be right back when they're cooked. So here's what the final result looks like. Just a word to the wise, if you're using parchment paper, don't put them under the broiler because your parchment paper is likely to catch fire and leave these little black specks on top of your tuna burgers. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel and leave a comment and a thumbs up for me.